What's up, everybody? We are back for another episode of the Multiverse Xperience Podcast. It's great to be seeing you. I hope you're happy to see me. I know it's been a little bit of time since I posted a new video. Nonetheless, I am back. My name is Steven, as always, your host, aka The Economistic on X. So thank you again so much for tuning in. Want to be sure to direct your attention to the last two videos. The most recent one was an interview that I had with Jack Miller from Cyberpunk City. He and I sat down and chatted about what Cyberpunk City is building, what progress they have, what they're doing in 2024, what sort of things they did in 2023. Altogether, Jack was really humble and passionate about everything they're doing, emphasizing that they want to build a game that their team wants to play, that the whole world will want to play. So definitely go check out that video. Thank Jack for his time. And the second video that is on the channel most recently is my interview with Mark Paul from Itheum. I personally love this video very much because as an artist, both shooting photography and making music, I really want to put stuff on the blockchain. And what Mark Paul gets into talking about data NFTs, the potential for NFTs and the future of them. You know, all of us know that the NFT idea is often diluted to monkey JPEGs and things that don't adequately represent the technology and the value that they put back into the hands of the creator themselves. So I have listened to that interview probably 3 or 4 times now. I think it's inspiring. I think it's motivating. I think it's exciting. And I'm personally looking forward to 2024 putting out some sort of data NFT using Itheum's platform. So happy new year to everybody. Like I said, I know it's been a second since I posted a video, but rest assured I'm doing my best. Again, I'm just a solo individual out here making the videos, shooting the videos, editing the videos, publishing them, marketing them, all that good stuff. So I really appreciate all the likes that you can put on the video, feeding that algorithm. Drop me a comment, let me know what things you might be interested in hearing about for the coming videos. So 2 other things, please let me know if you are a creator, if you are a leader in the space, if you're an executive and you would like to work together, whether it be on X or having an interview or some sort of deep dive on this channel, please send me a DM. And the second thing is just reminding you that I have changed the formatting of these episodes. You can see in some of the episodes, they were extremely long because I was putting ecosystem updates. In between, I was putting an interview or discussions that I was having with community members, and then I was adding technical analysis at the end of those videos. So they were becoming very long. The longest one was like 3.5 hours. So we are switching it up. All of the interviews with execs and community members will be separate videos. The ecosystem updates will also be separate videos, and I'm still playing around with where exactly I want to post the technical analysis videos. If you check out my X account, you can see that I did post a kind of technical analysis and fundamental analysis video on my page, and that got really good feedback. And that's what I've kind of come to realize is that I really enjoy reading charts, looking at the price, talking about the price, and that tends to lead me to talking about fundamentals. So definitely I am going to be figuring out the best format and the best place to share those technical analysis videos. But for now, this channel is going to focus on ecosystem news in one video and interviews in another category of video. So thanks so much again for bearing with me as I work all this stuff out. But let's go ahead and get into the episode. Today we are really just going to be talking about the new chapter of Multiverse X. So Multiverse X, as we know, if you've been here for a while, it started with the ticker ERD, and then that changed to Eagled, and it started as Elrond Network, and now it's Multiverse X. So the CEO, Beniamin Mincu, has a pattern of switching things up, changing things, turning pages, turning chapters. So Beniamin started a 23-day countdown. And what exactly was that about? Well, let me go ahead and share my screen here. So here you can see on January 8th, Beniamin Mincu started this countdown. 23 days, he says. So obviously, a lot of people began to speculate on what is going on. People immediately started making guesses. And as we know, again, if you've been paying attention to the ecosystem, all of this 23-day countdown has led to the Operation Lightspeed. So that's really what I want to get into today. I'm going to read the article with you. We're going to just kind of talk about what we think is going on here and speculate perhaps on what is going on behind the scenes with Multiverse X, because the 23-day countdown, 23 days is quite a lot. And then to add more drama to the entire situation, Beniamin stopped the countdown at 10 days. So this was kind of a confusing and seemingly random series of events that took place here in the ecosystem. And the truth is that the result garnered lots of attention, which is what Beniamin really wanted. I think this was a cheap marketing campaign, inexpensive marketing campaign, whatever you want to call it. But as a key opinion leader in the space, I'm not quite sure if it's necessary to interject so much drama and confusion into the ecosystem that's already littered in a lot of uncertainty. So as you can see, I've got the tweet from Beniamin up that says 10 days. And if you take note, if you notice, each of these days of countdown, once he started at 23 days, the countdown got fewer and fewer views. So a lot of this adds to the speculation. I wonder if he stopped the countdown because he was not getting as much attention, or if, I don't know, who's to say why exactly he did stop the countdown. Nonetheless, the community was all waiting for the announcement to be made on 31st of January. And we saw that he posted this photo before the Operation Lightspeed announcement. So he says, just want to be very upfront and proactive about this. Today is not about an announcement. It is about something entirely different. A next chapter, a better, accelerated Multiverse X. So this was the first thing he posted. As you can see here, I replied and said, what does this mean, bro? More mystery. Because again, this is a highly speculative market, and I don't know if it's quite necessary for the chief executive officer of this emerging tech company to be relying on more uncertainty as a form of marketing. So that's, again, something for you to evaluate for yourself, something to be aware of, that Beniamin Mincu does lead Multiverse X with controversy. We should know by now that Multiverse X is one of the top layer 1 blockchains in the world, and there are countless reasons, fundamental reasons, that Multiverse X is the blockchain that I have essentially exclusively chosen to protect my net worth, to protect my cash. Every dollar that I make, as much as I can, I put into eGold, and as many of you might know as well, that I am invested in the MEX token, which is the DEX token of X Exchange, which X Exchange, of course, is the DEX that the Multiverse X team released now over 3 years ago. Moving forward here, we talked about how he made this announcement, and he had this little matrix meme that he added to it. So it's up to you to choose a new chapter for MVX or when announcements, sir. So a lot of people were a bit frustrated, disappointed by this whole unfolding, because again, 23-day countdown, whether you like it or not, it's going to increase the speculation and anticipation. And it's coming from the CEO, somebody who knows a lot of things happening behind the scenes, somebody who is likely involved in lots of different NDAs and can't talk about certain things. So naturally, irrefutably, a countdown is going to increase attention, is going to increase people's excitement. And naturally, as we saw, we had community members speculating, starting giveaways offering people money to guess what Beniamin is going to announce. And altogether, everybody played a role in kind of pushing along this marketing that Beniamin began with this countdown. I want to try to kind of leave my emotions out of it because I would also like to turn a chapter, turn a page, and to really just focus in on the future because I made many posts about it on X, but the Multiverse X blockchain is more bullish than ever, and this announcement of Operation Lightspeed, Multiverse X has never been more bullish. This is essentially an announcement that is a continuation of the hypergrowth campaign that, as we saw, led Multiverse X to share what they are building across the world. Lots of different conferences they spoke at, they were represented at, and many new products were discussed and not necessarily launched because many of those are still in the works, which we will get into towards the end of this episode. So as we saw on the first day of this Operation Lightspeed per se, so it looks like Multiverse X will be at the Itheum conference in Denver. That's exciting to see, but let's go ahead and keep on scrolling here because, like I said, I wanted to read this article with you just to kind of get an idea of what exactly is going on. So let's just start right from the beginning. Day 0, Operation Lightspeed begins. So today is about something bigger, more significant and ambitious. It is about a new phase of the story, aggressively expanding the scope, scale, and force of the Multiverse X ecosystem. A chapter about acceleration, bringing together a wave of hundreds of new milestones, collaborations, and announcements that are ready to be unveiled, thousands of new builders and startups ready to be set in motion, and billions about to be unlocked in value, impact, and adoption. So, it all sounds really great. I like these words aggressively. Obviously, hundreds of new milestones, collaborations, and announcements that are ready to be unveiled. We're really waiting to see what exactly all of this is about. I went ahead and clicked on the article here, so let's just read on right through it. And I'll be responding to really kind of my impressions, my thoughts, and I'll leave the rest kind of up for you to kind of decide. So again, 23 days he started this countdown with 10 days left. He stopped the countdown, and now here we are. Now I guess we're at day -2. Day 0 is when he made this announcement. It says, today is about putting things into a new perspective, about a reset. Not about a single announcement, but a bigger chapter that begins for the ecosystem, the community, and far beyond. So he talks about why here. Let's get into it. Beniamin writes that we are at a fascinating moment in time where the technology we have built can play an instrumental role and have a significant impact at the intersection of industries, verticals, and sectors, both public and private. A fundamental technology infrastructure that binds together the exponential power potential of AI and the metaverse and grounds it all in a secure, transparent, and cryptographically verifiable reality. But what compels us to embark on this journey? Why invest time to build these tools and infrastructure? Why talk with developers? Why build these products? Why nurture and cultivate a vibrant community? Why enter dialogues with startups, enterprises, and governments? Why engage with investors? Perhaps more crucially, why dedicate not only our financial resources, but our very lives and energy to this pursuit? Why spend countless days, nights, months, and years pushing the boundaries of human capability? Why? That is the first question. All right, we get it. That was the title. Because we strongly believe that technology is the ultimate force for good, and its purpose is to improve the world, society, and the lives of those we hold dear. Because technology enables individuals from all over the world to build and make new things, carve their own paths, and forge their own destiny. Because technology will reimagine and revolutionize education, healthcare, agriculture, food, infrastructure, energy, and spur significantly economic growth. Because through technology, humanity has mastered the earth, built cities, and designed civilized societies, and consistently elevated the relative and absolute quality of life, lifespan, and health span for the vast majority of people in the world, built rockets that took us to the moon, and stand up on the cusp of expanding our reach to the stars, perhaps all within our lifetime. On this grand arc, we believe blockchains are a fundamental stepping stone for humanity, enabling new levels of coordination, automation, and scaling for trust, truth, financial exchange, all with the aim of significantly accelerating global economic growth. Through Multiverse X, we have chosen this path, and come what may, through hell or high water, we will see it through and we will make it happen. So now on to the what. So what is Multiverse X? First, it is an internet-scale blockchain network, perhaps the most advanced, secure, and scalable one in existence, stewarded by a foundation that exists to accelerate the advent and global adoption of this technology, and served by a group of companies developing and installing the infrastructure, tools, and products needed to enable the first phase of wide-scale global ecosystem acceleration, growth, and expansion. Second, it is a global, vibrant, and resourceful ecosystem of tens of thousands of community members, of hundreds and thousands of builders, startups, companies, partners, all seeking to leverage, integrate, and accelerate the adoption of this breakthrough technology. It's been 6 crazy and extraordinary years to take things from zero to this important point and achieve such a remarkable milestone. Now, the most interesting period of all is the chapter in front of us. I feel like we've heard that before. We have built technology like no other. It's time to leverage it and give it maximal use in the world. Transitioning from the first phase, mobilizing all efforts, igniting momentum, empowering the community and builders, and unleashing a true force of nature for the ecosystem. This is the next chapter. Why now, he says? Throughout the last couple of months and weeks, several layers of the ecosystem have reached a critical mass. Several significant qualitative milestones have been achieved in infrastructure, tools, products, builders, and community. The signal, perspectives, efforts, and visions within the ecosystem are reaching a tipping point. Whether it's native network upgrades for both consensus performance and golden standards for VM and Rust coding framework, or maybe sovereign shards, providing the premise for the most important expansion platform for builders, startups, and companies within the ecosystem, significant strategic collaborations within the greater blockchain ecosystem, or reaching companies and enterprises around the world far beyond our space. Or perhaps an instrumental native stablecoin, which has been in the research and preparation for many months now. Or the remarkable X portal experience with the highest native crypto security on-ramps exchanges, a working debit card, app hubs, and more. Or a suite of ecosystem teams and products kicking things into high gear with some of their biggest milestones yet. Or a new global world tour, 10 times bigger and better than the one last year, with special focus and efforts for US presence and adoption. These are all coming together like never before. But to achieve a whole new level of velocity, we need to shift gears at an ecosystem level. Let's get into the how. Today is about something bigger, more significant, and ambitious. It is about a new phase of the story, aggressively expanding the scope, scale, and force of the Multiverse X ecosystem. A chapter about acceleration, bringing together a wave of hundreds of new milestones, collaborations, and announcements that are ready to be unveiled, thousands of new builders, startups ready to set in motion, and billions about to be unlocked in value, which is what he tweeted. What follows is a monster undertaking. If we are to exceed, every bit of effort is crucial and compounding in this phase. A team alone, however great, cannot do it. The ecosystem alone, however great, cannot do it. It is these two forces put together that unleash a ripple effect unlike any other. Today is also a call to arms, a call to seize the means and memes of production, a rallying cry to shift from passive observers to active players, builders, contributors, and architects of our collective reality. We have the most advanced technology. During the next 6 to 12 months, we'll make the most significant efforts to make sure everyone knows about it and begins to use it. Across multiple countries, across different fields, across the entire Web3 space, from builders to users, from big tech enterprises to government officials. This is how a systematic community empowered I'm sorry. This is how a systemic, community-empowered ecosystem scale movement begins. We call this Operation Lightspeed, and it starts today. That's great. Yeah, like I said in the beginning of this video, the announcement that we just read, it started with a 23-day countdown. And again, I think that was really just the biggest error that was made in the announcement of Operation Lightspeed. We can always look in hindsight and question, oh, if he didn't do this countdown and he just dropped this article, maybe it wouldn't have created as much buzz. But I'm a little bit disappointed that Beniamin used this countdown. Yes, it was positive. There are pros. We had a lot of memes, we had a lot of excitement, we had a lot of chit chat, but there are a lot of people that were just disappointed because they trusted Beniamin to really give us something that I believe a 23-day countdown resulted in. A lot of people, like I said, were speculating on one big announcement. And there was not one big announcement, rather this unveil of Operation Lightspeed. I don't want to get too much into the emotions of everything, because we are all allowed to have our own opinions. We are all allowed to have our own disappointments. We are all allowed to look past all of the noise and just look straight at Operation Lightspeed and say, I'm more bullish on Multiverse X now than ever. And that truly is my big takeaway, is that Multiverse X is beyond bullish. The tech, the fundamental underlying architecture is, like Beniamin said in the article, it is the most advanced technology. But the marketing has always been an opportunity for Multiverse X, and it sounds like this Operation Lightspeed is really going to push forward, as it says in the article, making sure everybody knows about it and uses this new technology. So that is very much what we all want. Is this a big one announcement, one partnership to rule them all, for Eagle to take over and all these crazy things to take place, and perhaps the price increases, all of this? Yeah, that would all be great, but I think that this is a very close second place to having one big announcement that was revealed at the end of Beniamin's extravagant 23-day countdown. So here is the new Multiverse X website that was unveiled simultaneously with the Operation Lightspeed announcement, unveil, whatever you want to call it. So check it out. I think that they, were due for a new website. The last one was quite busy, but this one looks to be just putting everything right in front of everybody, especially with sovereign shards being such a big topic in the ecosystem, highlighting some of these key components, such as 263K transactions per second, which I do believe was on testnet. Nonetheless, the serious mainnet upgrade is going to bring a great deal of improvements to the blockchain itself with that upgrade. But I want to scroll down to the bottom of the website, a bit of a Easter egg or hidden gem, if you will call it. On the links at the bottom, we have these different elements here that are conjoined, that are paired with the the soon word there, right, as you see. And if you put your mouse over it, it starts at 23 days and it begins to count down. So while it's counting down here, because it will stop at 10, I want to at least draw attention back to the conversations that were happening, and really quick. So once it gets to 10 days, it just kind of cuts out, stops, and does this weird little red highlighting thing. So what more mystery, more mystery, more uncertainty. Yes, I think that these are positive things, but the biggest issue with uncertainty is that it leaves people to speculate and get ahead of ourselves when it comes to what could be coming. So again, I call attention to the chief executive officer of this blockchain. Even though I like posting and talking and getting into some emotions, I would prefer from a damage control perspective for the CEO of Multiverse X to just deliver and not leave the community to speculate. If you wanted a meme competition, then fund a meme competition. Again, it's a list of pros and cons. And the overarching takeaway should be that Operation Lightspeed is positioned, is saying that it's going to be 10 times more powerful than what the hypergrowth campaign that was announced led to. That terminology, as we read in the article, that was focused specifically on the conferences that were attended. I'm really looking forward to the different opportunities for Multiverse X to get in front of new audiences. So just recapping that small piece here, a new global world tour, 10 times bigger and better than the one last year. Here's another element. It's like 10 times bigger. That's quantitative. So are you saying that we can combine and rather compare exactly the number of conferences that Multiverse X attended last year and multiply that by 10, and then here we have something more qualitative, better. It's going to be bigger and better, 10x bigger and better. And it's just like, I love Multiverse X. I love the team. I love how communicative they are. I love the technology. I'm going to continue using it. I'm not leaving this ecosystem anytime soon because the technology is world class. I do believe that Multiverse X is the most advanced blockchain in the world. I will happily continue to use it. But whenever the team gives us this, when the team serves this on our plates, we are allowed to interpret it. We are allowed to have responses to it. And I think that this article is encouraging, is exciting, uses a lot of exciting words. The big issue is that it's always forward-looking mystery rather than right here, right now. This is something to sink your teeth into. But that's not always true. Obviously, I'm very much nitpicking because at conferences that Multiverse X puts on, like X Day 2023 this past October, and the very first one, 2022, where they announced the whole rebrand from Elrond Network to Multiverse X. Obviously, that was a steak dinner and more. Each of these conferences had plenty to sink our teeth into. And then, it seems like everything that kind of exists around this tends to be a little bit vague, tends to be a little bit uncertain. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. It's going to be aggressive. It's going to be powerful. We get it, really. My big question, and I'm going to do my best to move on from this, but does this warrant a 23-day countdown? And then, finding this Easter egg on the website, how it counts down from 23 days, stops at 10. It's just like we're left to speculate. And it's probably going to be positive things. It's probably going to be good things. It's probably going to be one of those things that we look back at this announcement, at this season, and in hindsight, we do gain a better understanding as to what Beniamin was really kind of on about. And I'm sure it's going to be great. But again, for people like myself, who's a key opinion leader in the ecosystem, whenever Beniamin disappoints, myself and many others are left to kind of set the stage for how to respond to this. And I'm a realist. I want to build bridges with people who are skeptical, not only about blockchain altogether, but also people who are skeptical about Multiverse X. So whenever there's news in the big media about cryptocurrency, I'm advocating for cryptocurrency and blockchain, and I'm teaching people, this is what it's about. And if there was something truly detrimental that came out about Multiverse X or about the blockchain specifically, then by all means, I would be happy to discuss why that went wrong. Like in the past when there was fraud, when there was theft, it's like, yeah, let's be transparent about those things, and let's also be transparent and real that whether that has been improved upon. So naturally, I'm going to take that same realistic mindsetedness, if that's even a word, mindsetedness, and I'm going to bring it to Multiverse X. When Beniamin starts a 23-day countdown and stops at 10 days, and the whole thing just kind of fizzles, and then we have this Operation Lightspeed that isn't necessarily concrete, it's vague, uses a lot of positive terminology. I'm just going to talk about it. I'm going to say that I don't know if that's quite the best behavior to show to the world, coming from the chief executive officer. But who's to say? I mean, this is their decision. This is what they want to do. If they feel like this is their hill that they want to climb and stand on of uncertainty, speculation, drama, XYZ, that's great. But at the same time, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to build bridges with people who might see this as a much more negative thing. We need people in the community to acknowledge and to be real about disappointment, to be real about missed deadlines, non-deadlines, and anytime something might be a little bit anticlimactic. But again, this whole idea of 23 days, what's going on? It's just, I don't know. We really don't know, and that's the big takeaway, is that we will just have to wait and see. More waiting, more trying to figure out what might be coming. But all that to say, I would just say, try to dial down the noise, focus on what Beniamin is sharing and talking about on his account here. And I think the best thing that we can always do is just to keep our emotions in check and not to, get too excited or frustrated at any sort of things. I'm not excited, nor am I frustrated at what's been going on kind of in and of itself. I think it's just frustrating for myself as a key opinion leader to therefore be responsible for damage control. So anyway, I want to move on from that, and really just kind of closing out this episode. Like I said, I'm going to be making these episodes smaller and more frequently, hopefully, fingers crossed, and making them a little bit more pointed. So that's really all I wanted to discuss about the Operation Lightspeed announcement that Beniamin started with this 23-day countdown. Closing out the video here, I want to touch on three final things. Three final things, which the first one is sovereign shards. Just want to continue to discuss about this. Sovereign shards is going to really bring an opportunity for builders to build their own shard, and they can design it however they like. And they can use it however they like. It's not on the Multiverse X main chain, if I understand correctly. It's a separate shard. So we are really looking forward to what this is going to be unveiled. This was talked about at X Day quite a lot. Other things in the pipeline include the X portal upgrade that Sergio Burris, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, Sergio announced at X Day. That was a very lengthy keynote, and X portal is getting a huge update that will bring a lot of new features to X portal itself, which, as we all already know, is a really great platform. So the last thing I want to talk about for today's video is X Exchange version 3. So X Exchange version 3, as we know, was announced at X Day as well. And altogether, let's just take a quick look at what general changes and or bigger changes are coming to version 3, and then we'll kind of look at some tweets from the team to figure out kind of when we can expect X Exchange version 3 to actually come out. Even though it does say scheduled for Q4, this is one of those elements that I touched on. Holding accountable the team and the community holding itself accountable for deadlines, for missed deadlines, for non-deadlines. Nonetheless, X Exchange version 3 is going to be redesigned, much more straightforward, much more simple. So 30 plus components redesigned, 12 plus contracts deployed, and new features So 4 pages are going to turn into one. 6 different transactions are going to turn into one. This has a lot to do with the different actions, different behaviors that you can take place, that you can do on X Exchange, such as adding a liquidity provider position, staking that to a farm, and one step beyond that, even adding it to meta staking, which, as we know, is 3 separate forms of income from the liquidity provider token that we have conjoined with eGold. So again, here we go with another similar kind of terminology piece here. 10x improvement. With V3, we bring a 10x improvement in terms of time consumed, enabling them to provide liquidity and earn rewards in one click. So also it looks like the menu structure is going to change. The dashboards, the trading screen, swapping tokens, earning rewards, and then finally the energy. So I'm really looking forward to what this new dashboard is going to look like. From what I can tell, I do feel like it slightly resembles the new Multiverse X website, just kind of in general structure. So I think that's great to see that this brand rather, is kind of coming together and, being more seamless in terms of how it's kind of all together. But nonetheless, when in the world can we expect X Exchange version 3 to come out? Let's go ahead and click on a link here, which came from the lead of X Exchange, Lucas Willem, who gave the keynote at X Day this past October. So some people discussed about when V3 is going to come, referring to this announcement made on March 10th, 2023. Not quite a year ago, but nearing a year ago. They teased this, what appears to be an order book for X Exchange. And there was no mention of this at X Day, so it's just kind of like, where did this go? Is this something to expect for X Exchange version 3? Is this completely being abandoned? Was this just the marketing ploy? What is this about? And this is in the same, I would say, in the same vein as the 23-day countdown that Beniamin put out there. It's like, why are we shrouding Multiverse X in mystery? Why are we saying, look, here's this big beautiful blockchain, read all about its fundamentals, but hey, we're going to put this shroud over it and create this idea of mystery and what's to come and things that are in development. In my opinion, just deliver it. Don't tease us with something that to date has not come, such as this order book trading. That is not the way for Multiverse X to move forward, and I do believe that it all stems from the leader, Beniamin Mincu, who likes to use controversy. So other people kind of talked about it. When is X Exchange version 3 coming? Said Q3, but no info. Maybe he said Q3, but for certain, this post that I just shared with you said that it would be scheduled for Q4. Obviously, it has not happened yet. And now pointing over here to what Lucas said. So Robert Sasu, core developer, messaged me and said specifically that there were internal deadlines for version 3. But Lucas Willem kind of came back to me and clarified/corrected that there are no internal deadlines. There never have been. There is an estimated time arrival of Q4, and the only thing he can guarantee is that we are working hard to ship V3 ASAP. So that's great. The answer is when V3. We do not know. It was discussed that it was going to take place in Q3, and it would be scheduled for Q4. So now here we are in the new year, and now into the second month of the new year. And we don't have anything concrete about when to expect X Exchange version 3. So that's really all I wanted to get into today. I do apologize that this episode was a little bit emotional. I just wanted to make a few observations of things that I've noticed in the ecosystem over the past several days, couple weeks, and just share my thoughts. I don't want to focus on my emotional criticisms of the team or of Beniamin, but altogether, especially concerning Operation Lightspeed was just announced. I think that it's important for us to really just kind of, stay on track. Just kind of keep a level head. But I think that the takeaway from the countdown is really just not to get too excited, not to join the bandwagon of speculation, and let's talk about what things could happen. At the end of the day, we don't know what happens unless it's explicitly stated. Myself, I want to be better about this, but at the same time, it's kind of confusing because when you announce, when you start a 23-day countdown, it's kind of like it's kind of begging for the community to just eat it up and to take and run with it. So it's controversial, like I said. I have mixed feelings about it altogether, but again, the primary takeaway from the entire announcement, from the entire countdown, is that article that talks about what should be expected for the coming months, weeks, and coming year, probably up until X Day 2024, that will probably happen in Q4 of this year. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of the announcement? I know that a lot of people approve of everything and they don't have anything negative to say. I think that realistically there were some shortcomings, there were some mistakes made in this announcement. But again, the emphasis is Operation Lightspeed. The emphasis is that the team is not giving up. The team is now aggressively, quote unquote, pushing harder. They're going to be pushing harder now than ever to deliver on some of these items. So again, that is my big takeaway. I'm going to do my best to turn a page, turn this chapter, and move forward with excitement, keeping my finger on the pulse, sharing it with you on this channel, sharing it with you on my X account, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments. As far as this episode goes, this is all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to feed that algorithm for me so that I can continue producing content and putting out interviews. Really enjoyed doing that. Again, check out the interview with Mark Paul from Itheum, as well as Jack Miller from Cyberpunk City. Thanks again, YouTube, for sharing your thoughts, insights during those videos. In coming videos, we're going to be talking a little bit more about technical analysis, about fundamentals, and more ecosystem updates. So make sure to subscribe, put the notification bell on, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Economistic out. Peace.